Rob Hatter. You are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. Yeah, it's lit in the Chop Shop. Turn your dials up in the drop top. They ain't based to debate, but they keep it fact straight. Going 30 for 30. Let's do a first take on Facebook Live from 12 to 2. Rob Hatter and Jim Hicks going back and forth like Carter Ray, Skip Bayless, and Stephen Smith. From on the court, off the court, straight to the field. Not a man that steals, but I made it steal. To the octagon where I fight to kill. We go face to face, then you write your will. I don't play tennis, but I bring the racket. I'm on the floor, I attack the basket. Put you in the casket when I'm overlapping. Never showing mercy, cause I'm always snapping. Never showing mercy when I'm in the arena. Step into the ring, you see me as I beat him. Step into the court, I'm never backing down. Killing competition, I'm smacking down. Let me get back to the other stuff at the Chop Shop, cause they cutting up. It's Retro coming to you live to the Chop Shop. Now let's turn it up. Yeah, we in the Chop Shop, man. Shout out to Jim Hicks and Rob Hatter. You can catch the Chop Shop live from 12 to 2 on Facebook Live. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop.
H-Town, what's up? You know what time it is. It's time for the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter alongside Jim, the Cheat Sheet Hicks, coming to you live from Houston, Texas. But guess what, y'all? We're broadcasting all over the world. And it's a great day, but it's a muggy day. We got a whole lot. Let me tell you something. Jimmy, I know I sometimes say it. We loaded today. We got so much stuff to cover today. And let's just, Jimmy, I saw something I don't think I talked to you about. I saw something interesting this morning that kind of broke my heart. And I want to share with everybody. It's kind of touching. Then I want to talk about a little bit because we might not get to it, but Steve Stout happened to be on one of the talk shows this morning, and he said something key, Jimmy, because Max Kellerman was going back and forth to him. You know, I don't usually watch, but somebody called me and said, man, watch this. So that's why I'm a little behind today. But Jimmy, he said something key. He said, Toronto brought in Drake. The New York Knicks brought in me. I said, wow. Jim, I said, this man said Toronto brought in Drake and the Knicks brought in him. The man compared himself to Drake this morning. Y'all can go find it if you go to the archives a little later. But Jimmy, we got a lot. I know we got high school stuff we got to go to. We got a couple of interesting hot topics to go to. What you got going on today? What you got going on?
I mean, we start off as we're talking NBA. We just start right there and go to some NBA talk and, of course, results around the league. The Magic beat the Hawks last night, 135 to 126. Toronto Raptors, 15 in a row last night with the win over the Timberwolves, 137 to 126. Understand, they're not beating guys. They putting you double-digit spreads on you. They're running and gunning. The Toronto is. Also, the Milwaukee Bucks, 123-111 over the Kings last night. The Jazz, 123 to 119.
Now think about who they was playing now, the Kings. Okay, so But 15 in a row is great. But the Kings,
No. Toronto played the Timberwolves. Milwaukee played the Kings.
oh, Milwaukee played the Kings. My bad. You're right. Timberwolves the same way. Jimmy, the same thing. Timberwolves, same thing. But keep
Understanding that what they're doing is they're beating teams a lot of times during this 15 game streak. A lot of these teams they're beating who they're supposed to beat.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, in any 15 game, in this 15 game spread, there's this their opponents have the lowest combined winning percentage of any other team in the NBA during this span. However,
But
they're
it's
doing
winning.
it. Guess what? A lot of teams gonna play a same span of duds during their season, and they're just doing what they're supposed to do. As I mentioned yesterday with Toronto, and they're doing it limping. I mean, meaning that we know Toronto not healthy. We know that.
Who hurt on that team?
Well, remember, Kyle Lowry had just missed the game. He came back last night.
One game?
Every other game, there's been guys that's been out. You know, remember they was without Siakam for a few games early in this. I mean, they've been playing, trying to piece it together, just getting it the old-fashioned way. And that's the thing about this team. Also, last night, how about the Nuggets beating up on the Spurs as they supposed to, 127-120. The Golden State Warriors fall to the Miami Heat, 113-101. And we're going through some of these box scores shortly, but just giving you the scores right now. And last but not least, the Los Angeles Lakers get their 40th win last night, 125-100 over the Phoenix Suns. Now,
we gave them an old-fashioned butt whooping last night.
Yeah, just start with that game, with the Laker game. Of course, you know, the highlight of that game was Rondo, 23 points in 27 minutes off the bench, and 4 of 5 3-point land.
I believe.
And
Jimmy, boy, I guess sometimes you just throw it up there and it just go in.
But, I mean, they're pros, and anybody.
No. But Rondo is just not that good at shooting three-pointers.
If you get hot, you get out there and get hot right now. You're gonna feel it's gonna be a time and a day.
But I've been known to be able to shoot a three. He haven't.
Remember now, Ben Simmons hit a 3 early in the season. You know, I'm just saying, if you get hot, that's your day. Joel Embiid, well, he shoots a lot more volume than the average center. But I'm just saying, this was Rondo's. I think, once again, let's pay attention to the game after the game, meaning that on the Lakers in their interior personnel. Let's see what Rondo, how he responds after this game, because this either can be a new beginning or it can be an aberration. It's one of the two. Because it's no secret that several people had put Rondo out there for heavy trash. And one thing, Rondo is one of the guys that in the NBA, I've met him a few times, and he's a competitor now. You know, he has just enough of that arrogance chip in him to provide this type of moment.
Jim, Ferraris are nice cars, but if they ain't got no gas in it, your ass ain't going nowhere.
So last night, Rondo had a full tank.
Ferrari is a beautiful, high-performance car. But if it don't have no gas in it, it ain't going nowhere. So guess what? Rondo had a little gas in the car last night. Don't expect him to drop by, to ride by Exxon again tonight. Just don't expect it.
Let me tell you something. You don't expect Rondo to give you 23 points next game.
Never.
If you can get 12 out of Rondo next year. That's what I'm saying.
So you expect more out of PJ Tucker than Rondo?
Absolutely. PJ Tucker plays more minutes. And he's closer to the rim. You're damn right.
PJ Tucker this tall, man, close to the rim.
He's close to the rim. But
he don't shoot layups, Jimmy. He shoot threes.
Dude, PJ Tucker, Rondo has
threes.
Rondo has one job. Get that ball across half court, get that ball over to LBJ, and get the hell out the way. That's all he got. You got one job. Now, we get it back to you. Understand. I was talking to one of the guys in the league, and he explained something to me a while back. He says some guys, they play a hell of a game in the pro. I want you guys to watch this next time you're watching the NBA game. And he says, this is what he told me. I'll never forget this. He says, watch certain guys. If they get that ball down in the clock, and they start this, and they'll pass that ball to another guy with about 3 seconds left. That means he has to shoot it a low percentage shot, because that guy knows I done tried to get around, can't get loose. So let me go and give it to him. So because if I shoot it, it's gonna mess my percentages up. I'm gonna dip because I'm gonna miss. It's gonna be a highly improbable shot that I probably have to get off. Watch. So Rondo probably got that ball. I didn't watch the game last night, but he probably got that ball a couple times with the clock going down.
No, Jimmy. I saw pause. He was in his bag last night. I'm telling you. I've been watching this kid's career for a long time. That's why I just sit there and just listen to you talk that mess. I've been watching this man's career for a long, long time. Let me tell you something. The rotation was nice on the ball last night, Jimmy. I mean, he shot it with perfect form and everything. I'm sitting there saying, what the hell? But guess what? That's fool's gold. So please don't expect that. Laker fans, please don't expect that out of Rondo. Please don't. Because you're going to be mad at him again and talking about, why didn't we get Darren Collison? I mean, who's that? Who's supposed to come in? Is that Darren Collison that turned him down the other day? That's Drew. Yeah, Darren Collison. You remember? He's a Jehovah's Witness, and he was being courted by the Lakers and courted by the Clippers. She's sitting courtside with Jeannie Buss. Jeannie Buss, hey, Darren Collison, if you're out there listening to Chop Shop, Jeannie Buss want her money back for them courtside seats. I think they was $1,000 a piece that you sit courtside and the other day, and you decide you wanted to go back and still, be a Jehovah Witnesses. But they are the Lakers felt, and that's why he should have been feeling the heat, because the Lakers are right now contemplating needing a playmaker, somebody who can expel LeBron James for those 12 minutes that they want him off the ball, because they don't want a man in his 17th year to have the constant burden of being the facilitator and being everything. So they need a playmaker. So they had looked at IT, and I said, oh no. They had been looking at your boy Dion Waiters. Jimmy, Dion Waiters was represented by whom? Rob Pelinka. And he's a client of Rich Paul. So those kind of things, the Lakers are, what is his name? Rondo has been under fire because people just saying, man, he wasn't getting the job done. So guess what? Rondo answered after the trade. Notice, Jimmy, after the trade deadline, Rondo said, okay, hey, I'm here. So what can we expect from him? And Angie, I wasn't talking about his religion. That's the reason he quit basketball. So I had to mention that. He didn't quit. Darren Collison did not quit basketball because he wanted to go. He said he wanted to go pursue and be able to practice his faith more. That's why I brought it up, since you were since you mentioned it on the Facebook feed. That's why I brought it up. It's very important that I bring it up, because that's why he quit. Duh. Now, Jimmy, what else you got?
Well, why he quitting is one thing. It's not the issue. It's why he decided not to come back is the question at hand right now. At this point, why he quit ain't got no bearing to the Lakers. Why he went through the motion.
But it ain't got nothing to do with the Lakers. I was answering her question.
No, I'm talking about Darren Collison.
That's what I'm talking about. I was asking Angie Holcomb. She said I was messing with his faith. You must not have been looking at the feed. I was talking about the man's faith. No, I was not. I was telling you why he quit. You got to know the whole story, Jimmy.
No. And I posed a separate question. The question that's more important right now to the Lakers or to the Laker nation is to why he decided not to come back.
To either team, because the Lakers and the Clippers was pursuing him.
Well, he obviously considered it. Once again, he obviously considered.
I got a question. If Rich Paul and Rob Pelinka or my agent and my GM, of course I might consider it. I live in LA. So of course I might consider it. So yes, he considered it. And then he just changed his mind. And I love this.
To change his mind, what I'm saying is wherever there's a rhyme, there's a reason. There's a reason that Darren Collison, and it will come out.
Jimmy Hicks, let me give you in history. I've never heard a player leaving the league because of the reason that he left the league for. So guess what? Of course there's always a reason. But I've never heard nobody have that reason to leave the NBA. That's why it was a big thing to me.
No, still, once again,
I've never, in 30 years of being in this business, I've never heard of a reason for a player to leave.
Adam, once again, think what you just said. I'm going to repeat your last sentence because you must ain't listen to yourself. You say, I never heard of a reason for somebody to leave. I'm not
this reason.
This reason for somebody to leave.
Yeah.
Once again, now listen to me now. I'm not talking about the reason that he left. Draw X in that. I'm talking about the reason that he decided not to come back. That's two different whole things.
I'm not talking about your reason. Don't care about your reason. You seem to care about mine more than I care about yours.
No.
I'm just telling you, if a guy would leave.
Adam, you keep saying it over and over.
But you don't understand what I'm talking about.
Adam, I don't care
it's
what
just
you're
over
talking
your head.
about.
It's over your head. Okay, it's over your head.
We're not talking about what you're talking about.
It's over your head. Okay.
You talking to Angie about what you talking about. I'm talking to Herb Baker about what I'm talking about. And you jumped in our conversation. You're right, Herb. Rondo made a statement to the Lakers last night. That could be part of that's why I say the competitor in him. The competitor in Rondo. And once again, Rondo is one of those guys. I've been around Rondo after hours. I know the competitor. I've been around Rondo while he's gambling. So I know the competitor in Rondo. Bet this, bet that. And some guys got scary money. Rondo ain't got scared. So he bet on himself last night. And he won. Now we're gonna see what Rondo can do on the curtain call when the Lakers play again. That's all I'm saying. Just pay attention. Let's see if Rondo gonna sit there. You know, we're not expecting him. Don't expect him to score 23. No. But however, let's see if he's having an impressionable game or in the flow of the game, if he's putting his fingerprints on the victory. That's the thing. Because if so, remember now, Avery Bradley's been in, he started. Avery Bradley had about 12 points last night. But then Rondo, you're talking about a guy with Rondo over his last 10 games, he's averaging 8, almost 9 points a game. But a lot of those points aren't significant. Well, like last night, didn't make an imprint where it was just like, man, that Rondo, man, that he was a reason for the win. So we'll see how that goes in the days in the comments. Speaking of last night, Devin Booker was held to 10 points in the loss.
Who?
And that's going to Devin Booker, 10 points in that loss. And that's the reason for the loss. And speaking of, we talked about the Golden State Warriors. Iguodala came back last night and returned to Golden State 2 points. They got the win, and that's one of the things that Iguodala one thing about him is that he's going to play the game of basketball. He's going to find you if you're open. He's going to make a play here and there. He's going to play some defense. But understand, it's not Iguodala of old. He's a year older. He's got to get in rhythm. So really grading him right now. Let him get some the basketball speed, kind of like when Zion first came back. Let's give Iguodala a pilot. Let's give him after the All-Star break. The All-Star break is next week or so. Let's wait till after the All-Star break. That way, Iggy, we can really, really focus in on him and see how it's going to go. But I know one thing: he's a good teammate, and that's a positive. And he's a guy that Jimmy Butler respects. And so I like that. I'm liking what I'm seeing from but from Iguodala, I'm liking what I'm seeing from Jimmy Butler this season. 20, 21 points, 10 rebounds, and most certainly Bam Adebayo is putting himself into most improved consideration as well this year. He's balling, man.
All-star, right?
He's all-star, absolutely. 13, 11, and 7 last night. In 27 minutes, only took 8 shots. Also, going back doing some of the lines, these Milwaukee Bucks, they've won their 46th game, guys. They're 46-7 on the season. And once again,
Golden State was what? 72-9. What's it? 70-something 9? In line and lost the championship. Yeah.
But guess what? Yeah. There's only been 7 teams of the team with the 7 best records ever up since the 82 game season. 6 of them won the championship. So Golden State, you can take Golden State and make it seem like it's the majority. That's the minority. That's that one season. That 9-loss season. Only of the next 6 best winning records in the NBA, all of them went to and won the championship. So that you think about that. Take that one and put that one in the pipe. Now, meanwhile, speaking of the Bucks, reason I brought them up, Greek Freak did not play last night, and they won by double digits. Once again, remember I tell you, this team, even when their main cog is not even playing, they're still rolling along. Just as Toronto did when Kyle Lowry wasn't playing, when Siakam wasn't playing, they're still rolling along and winning. How about last night? Chris Middleton, 28. Bledsoe, 28. Brooke Lopez, 20 on points on the night.
You know what's something scary me about this team? All this playing around they're doing before the game, that fake wrestling. What if one of them get hurt from doing that? Have you seen it?
No, I ain't playing.
Oh, you ain't seen it. They playing like somebody probably can illustrate it a little bit. Like the wrestlers be, fake hitting and falling on each other and doing the falling in. They do this before every game. And I thought everybody had seen it. I got to find the video. I mean, it's a playful act. I guess they get them ready before the game. But Jimmy, let me tell you something. If one of those guys get hurt, but guess what? If they get hurt, they still playing well. But it's kind of weird. You got somebody look it up. If you want to look at it, watch the Milwaukee Bucks pregame in the tunnel and how they be fake wrestling, the Lopez guys, Greek Freak, all of them be just, if they act like they in a wrestling match or whatever, WWF, and they be doing a lot of stuff that scares the heck out of me because I said, man, the owner need to say, hey, man, we've had our fun. Let's cut that out because, Jimmy, you got to see it to understand that an ankle can get twisted, a finger can get jammed, something can happen in that thing. It's kind of weird if you take a look at it. But hey, great team, great coaching, great. I mean, hey, I'm proud of it. Jason Kidd was coaching that team at first, and then the new guy took over. And let me tell you something, that team, I just like. It might not mean nothing to you because I'm not y'all Houston fans, but to me, I want to wait to see what they're going to do in the playoffs because I've seen them go in the playoffs, and the Greek Freak is the only superstar that I've ever seen. Y'all might have seen some superstar that shoot airball layups. Shoot airball free throws. That's the only guy I've ever seen do that as a superstar. I've never seen another superstar get at the line and shoot an air ball at the free throw line. I know he's the reigning MVP and all that, but I'm just trying to tell you, like y'all rest and see what the Rockets do in the playoffs. I rest and see how far they going to play. Can he make it to the next level? He done been to the Eastern Conference Finals. He done done that. So now he got to take the next step. He got to get in the finals. And guess what? like somebody said, that's not a final that I want to see going back to Milwaukee to somewhere else. It's not a final that I would want to go at all to see. So that's my 2 cents. But I just hope they don't get hurt doing that. I know Todd Holmes said it happens. I've never seen a superstar does it. No, Shaq used to hit the backboard. This dude, he'll shoot air balls, Clarence Thomas. Clarence Harris. Yeah, I call you Clarence Thomas. I'm so sorry, Clarence Harris. But baby, Clarence, I hope you're not Clarence Thomas. Okay. I've never seen Dwight do it. Yeah, but Jimmy, what else you got?
Victor Oladipo is back, and they've lost 5 straight games after he made the bucket to help them win the first game back and mentioned the Mamba mentality. So now, Indiana, 5 straight losses with Oladipo. Once Indiana has issues right now because they have to find that obviously the chemistry the seal has been broken on their chemistry, and they have to find a way to get that mojo back because this is their main guy. It's not like he's playing horrible, just that it's not that they're not something isn't different and they're not playing winning basketball in Indy. Last night they lost to New Jersey 106-105, and
New Jersey won a game.
New Jersey won a game without a Kyrie. How about a low-scoring game? The Charlotte Hornets went 87-76 over the Detroit Pistons. That's a throwback NBA game where defense actually mattered.
Jimmy, was it defense or them guys just can't shoot?
Well, they shot it about. Well, defense is going to contribute to you not being able to shoot a high percentage. So from the three-point land, they both shot about 20-25%. They missed a ton of threes. And that I do tell you, combined, they were 16 for 71 from three-point land, both teams. 16 for 71. However.
So the defense was causing them to miss them 60-something, all them 353s.
It definitely can probably attribute
the defense. They was playing defense way out there that good that those guys missed 45 free throws. Okay.
Okay. Once again,
okay.
I did not watch the game.
I know.
Does attribute, once again, to some of that. Some of that meaning that on defense in your scout, you're going to have the capacity to go and know there are some guys, I'm going to say back all the way off of certain guys. That's part of your defensive plan. So your defense is making him shoot. Otherwise, he would give it up to the next guy. That's like if they playing against the Rockets. Back all the way off of Daniel House, right? Back off of him because guess what? And then go and double up on Harris, on James.
They missed 43s, man.
Back all the way off Russell. Then, so what Russell Westbrook shooting threes? So that's part of your defensive plan. So your defense may have called and Russ like, I was off tonight. Yeah, you was off, you was open, and you was off. We know you was gonna be off, but you was open for a reason. Because we planned to leave you open. Very open. And so that's part of the defense. And then certain players who are assigned to other players have more success than others. And that's how certain people they'll draw the assignment to guard certain guys for certain spurts unless they heat up on them and start cooking. And that's on all levels of basketball. Even in college, well, college and pros, I put it like that. But that's pretty much in the NBA action last night. And tonight, in case you are wondering, a couple of games on tap, only a few. Boston Celtics are in town playing the Rockets, and that's a TNT game at 8:30. That will be preceded by the Clippers at the 76ers. All eyes will be on the Philadelphia 76ers, especially after Joel Embiid had a mental, a verbal/nonverbal confrontation between he and the fans after last night's win. So it's going to be interesting to see how this is going to go. Playing the Clippers are in town right now, and Philadelphia is another team who's soul searching to get their groove back. Also on tap tonight, Portland at New Orleans tonight. San
Jimmy,
Antonio,
before you leave there,
Oklahoma City.
I wanted to mention something about them Clippers. The Sixers got a 33-21 record. Did y'all know the Boom Boom Room? They got 4 guys on that team with $100 million contracts. Did you know that, Jim?
On which team?
On the Philadelphia 76ers. That's why I brought it up. Got 4 guys: Horford, Embiid, Simmons, and Tobias Harris. They got 4 players. And they're going to get their brakes beat out of them tonight by the Clippers, who probably don't have what got 2 players that got excess of $100 million contract. Sometimes we got to take a look at that. It's just something I just want you to take a look at it. You don't have to think. Just sometimes, just put that in your pipe and smoke it sometimes. I just think the 76ers have I don't think it's just Embiid. I think it's the people they put around them. They play better with J.J. Redick and the other shooter. You know, they got rid of Redick talking about his defensive liability. Yeah, he's going to have a defensive liability everywhere he go. But guess what? He's an offensive staple because guess what? His offense, his shooting ability, his cutting ability. I don't know if you ever watch, a lot of people don't watch J.J. Redick play. But his abilities, the defense moves when he cut. So guess what? It opened up a lot for those guys, and they don't have those guys that much. They just went and spent a lot of money on Tobias Harris and Horford, but they didn't get the right pieces, and then they let the killer go, Jimmy Butler. So of course they're gonna struggle and they're gonna whine. And they said that locker room is very, very, very fractured in that locker room. I don't know what's going on, but it's very fractured in the locker room.
Well, Al Horford gave us that news last week, and he's in the locker room as a veteran. So he's playing and brought that out to the public eye. That's what I said. Remember, I mentioned a while ago, they are another one of the teams, the 76ers, who have turbulence. And they are trying to find a way. That one of the best ways to get out of that turbulence is to win. That's how you can get up out of that funk. Because somehow winning, it heals.
Oh yeah, and Jimmy, if you was a owner, right? And you done brought all these shiny new objects. You done spent $100 million on 4 players. Okay, it's 17 players on the team, but you done spent $100 million each on each player. You know, over the years of their contract. If you got all of those toys in your toolbox, shouldn't you look to the puppet, or the guy who's controlling that toolbox? Brett Brown? Shouldn't you look and say, hold up now, I done brought you a lot of shiny objects. You can't use that San Antonio logic on these guys because he's from the San Antonio coaching tree. We don't have those kind of guys. San Antonio don't have these kind of guys. You got to bring a new, fresh perspective to this team. And guess what? You know, they got the shiny toys, Jimmy. But these guys not producing, Jimmy. I expected these guys were a roll off the rim from being in the NBA championship last year, Jimmy. And now they brought more toys, spent more money, and they're worse. Hey, we might need to look at old Brett Brown. Might need to take a look at it.
Well, understand. Philadelphia, Philadelphia's record and the Rockets' record are pretty much identical right now at the 55 game mark, 53 game. Their records are pretty much the same. They're both in the same place, in the same seed, in opposite conferences. And they're both just as bad as the fan base and questionable they're feeling about Philly, the Rockets are feeling.
Rockets don't have 4 players. That's not the same analogy, Jimmy.
No. Yes, it is.
They don't
See,
have 4 players making in excess of $100 million a year.
Once again, I say just as bad as the fans feel about Philly, the Rockets fans feel the same way. The Rockets fan don't give
a question. Okay, you just added that.
I did before you cut me off. That's what I was saying. The Rockets fans feel their fan base have the same type of questions about the heart and the cohesiveness of their respective teams. They're in the same boat. In the same boat. You got 2 guys and as probably leading, doing this and doing that. You want the team to be better. They both in the 5th hole right now. Before the season started, people in the Eastern Conference felt that Philadelphia would be a 3 seed at the lowest. And it's still time.
Man, I can mention the hockey and you'll bring up the Rockets. But keep on. What's the next? I can mention the man on the moon and you'll bring up, well, guess what? Rockets go to the moon.
Understand?
I can mention Neil Armstrong. Well, the Rockets got NASA.
My narrative has always been this season that the Rockets aren't the only team that got big problems. I said that back in December. I said it again in January. Now we're in February. The Rockets aren't the only team. So guess what? It's like Joel Embiid said last night. If I can take it, you make sure you be able to take it too. I'm paraphrasing him, but he sent that tweet out after the game. So the thing is,
he took a tweet out to the fans.
Yes, look on his Twitter.
I don't look at it. I don't follow that nigga on Twitter.
They sent the chants out. They start booing. He hit the game-winning bucket or the game-clinching bucket, and he done this to the fans, his own fans. So if he said, if I can take it, I took it when you booed, then you could take it when I do this right here.
Interesting.
And then Jimmy Butler came and co-signed the tweet. Jimmy Butler said,
I didn't realize how close they were.
Jimmy Butler say, I know a place where villains are loved.
Jimmy, I didn't realize. Do you know when they went to Miami, they played it during the Super Bowl?
Mm-hmm.
Embiid wasn't hanging with his teammates. He was hanging with Jimmy Butler.
What Jimmy Butler just said that on that tweet. I know a place where villains are loved. So guess what? See, they're gonna get tricky now on this tampering stuff now. Because Magic Johnson, after they sit there and they slam dunk Magic Johnson last year a couple of times during his tenure with the Lakers front office. And they know that most of these guys, when they go to USA basketball, this is where it's at. When they go for the Olympics or for USA and they hanging out, this is where the recruiting is amplified. Players recruit players.
That was tampering right there. That was tampering. That's tampering right there.
What Jimmy
Butler said. That's tampering.
I thought tampering only goes with the front office.
No. Okay. They are trying to figure out a way to watch what these players do. They try, but they can't. It's hard to police it. But Jimmy, believe you me, these owners don't like these players having Jimmy. I got something to share with y'all. If we have time, we don't have time. One of these days this week about that NFL. Y'all, let me tell y'all something about that. I got some NFL news that's going to blow y'all away. But keep going, Jim. Keep going.
And so keep your eye, pay attention to this Miami Heat, Joel Embiid. If things get funky,
that's a good one.
He's gonna be requesting, because guess what, Miami Bam is really a 4. Yeah. You know, and so that way now you can see it coming a mile away.
You know what I don't like, yo? You know what I don't like?
What's that?
Think about, you should know me by now to know why I don't like this bickering with the Philadelphia. Who runs their team? Elton Brand.
About the 76ers?
Elton Brand.
Yeah, that's the GM.
That's who run the team.
But all those guys, a few of those guys are already there when Elton Brand came aboard, Adam.
But Jimmy, you got Jimmy. Jimmy, if I hire you tomorrow as a CEO of my company, And if it get to messing up today, I'm not going. You can't tell me. Coach, them guys are there before. You knew when you took the damn job, so it don't matter. You knew when you took the job.
Yeah, but you know what you probably didn't know? You didn't know how. Well, they've used the term them own self. Philadelphia.
Jimmy, it's Elton Brand's job. Is the inmates can't run the asylum.
I'm still though. You took the job. At the same time, you may not have been aware that certain players that you
this ain't college basketball, Jimmy,
were as soft as they were.
Jimmy, this ain't college basketball. You afraid this not college basketball. He didn't have his recruits. He didn't have his. No, this ain't college basketball.
Let me tell you something. So where else Elton Brand was gonna go? Elton Brand had no damn choice. So he took the job.
No. We ain't talking about where he gonna go. I'm saying I don't like the bike biting amongst this team because he and ain't worried about all that mess. I just don't like it because when black men are in power, Jimmy, I want them to succeed over anybody else. So let's get that straight. Over anybody else. Listen, I'm not trying to get other people from succeeding, but I want my brothers to succeed in all their endeavors, whatever they do. If he's a dishwasher, whatever he does, I want to see him succeed. So that's why I said what I said. I'm not worried about where he couldn't take a job with. That ain't it. James Jones got a job at Phoenix. He played most of his years in Miami. So it could have happened. But all I'm saying is when you inherit, you get a job, it's his job to control those things. It's his job, no matter what. Excuse me, to manage that situation. I'm wondering, has he put those guys in a room together and said, man, come on, let's talk about it. It's a problem. Let's talk about it. You don't like him. You don't like. He didn't even fly back home with y'all. He stayed there to play with his girlfriend an extra day. Girlfriend, all y'all could have flew together. He stayed in Miami. He didn't want to be around y'all. What's going on? Somebody, Elton Brand, that's childish. Somebody got to be the adult in the room. And I don't want him to get fired because of these guys doing this stuff. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
We just saw a black GM basically T-roll an organization or a program. That's New York Knicks. We just saw that.
What you mean by T-roll? What you mean?
Rolled his head coach out in front under the bus. You saw the type of bickering that was going on inside with the players, talking about inmates running the asylum. You saw what was going on with some of these players.
New York was bickering, was it?
What?
What was New York?
Hold on. It started when Porzingis was there last year. When Porzingis basically pulled a mutiny on the New York Knicks.
What are you trying to make a comparison to? I still want that man to be successful. I'm not gonna bash that man here on this show. Okay, I'm gonna let you do that.
I named another NBA front office guy who had the power to soothe out problems when the players are having problems. Well, one recently over in your Memphis Grizzlies. Ain't Tayshaun Prince over in the front office?
He's not the head guy. He don't make the decision.
But he's the front office and the administrator.
Yes, the front office.
He's like the vice president
or
something.
What are you talking about? Elton Brand is the GM. He's the boss.
Hold on. Which is the higher up the plane? The VP or the general manager?
It's according to which organization. What, Jimmy? It's according to what responsibilities they have. You can be VP, Jimmy. They give VPs out. They throw that VP. President is different from VP. President and VP do different things. VP is like associate head coach. Okay, hold up. VP is like associate head coach. I'm going to put it in your language because you don't understand. The head coach going to get the blame, not the associate head. The head coach going to get the losses, not the associate head. I know you think you know it all, but I'm just telling you, what has that got to do with the statement I made? Why are you talking about the different failures of black GMs and I'm trying to lift them up? Why? What color are you, sir?
I'm half-breed.
Okay.
I'm from 3 generations of mixed marriage.
Okay.
Now, so that's
okay.
I don't have to. Listen,
I got you.
Once again, you mentioned that.
I got you. Done deal.
You got you, didn't get me.
Done deal. Done deal records.
Elton Brand supposed to have a magic wand to make them dudes stop bickering. Hell, them other guys.
I never said he had to have a magic wand. To whom much is given, much is required. To whom much is given, if you're given a lot, there's a lot going to be required of you, sir. I'm just telling you, if you're given a lot, it's a lot going to be required of you. But it's all good. It's all good.
Those other guys as well.
I promise you explain a whole lot of stuff to me. But what's the next part? What's the next topic?
I told you, bro.
You explained it.
At the end of the day, you ain't never met one like me. The mold broke. Never. It's the first team I'll pick.
It's probably some. It's probably some, but they're a little more covert.
No.
It's some.
Remember I said, go sit down for almost a decade straight. I'm saying, all that right there.
Jimmy, you ain't the only one that's been in jail for 10 years. Excuse me.
Hold on. I'm the only one that's on television in a major city in the United States that's done it. I can guarantee you that. Because your ass ain't getting hired with that record at no TV station. They ain't gonna do it. Now thumb that one up. You damn right. Tip my lid to that. Now let's proceed and talk some college basketball now. Well, first we're getting college basketball. One time I want to slide on through real quick with you guys, and I had it queued.
That man, boy, y'all crazy. This Facebook crazy. When the police stop your ass, they think you're black. Boy, when they stop you out there, you better hands up and don't reach.
The police stop me.
Yeah.
They already know before I get out the car what time it is.
Okay.
You know why? Because
I'm talking about your color, sir.
No, it don't matter.
Sir.
Oh, that hell.
So it don't matter?
Your license, your license plate, and they stop your car and your name.
I'm talking about your color. I'm talking about look at you at your color.
Hell, it don't matter what color I was. On paper, I'm a dangerous dude on that paper. They gonna say, oh, they coming out.
Thanks for telling me. I ain't ride with you no more. I ain't know you was done.
Look, if you look at my record, it's right there long.
Jimmy.
They coming out the car. Oh, they know.
What's the next topic, man?
So that's what I'm trying to explain.
What's the next topic? What's the next topic? What's the next topic?
Cecil, you know that in Fifth Ward, Cecil. Hal ain't from here, Cecil. He don't know no better.
I had been around the world.
No. Been around the world, being up under the world, and inside of the world. That's a whole different world.
How is well traveled?
But no, that's a whole different world, though. That's a whole different world. You don't want to go to that world. You know, that's
all right. It's all right.
That ain't no world you wish those people go to.
That's all right. Now, you ain't never been to North Memphis, then, okay? I've been to North Houston. You ain't never been to North Memphis.
North Memphis.
First 48.
Listen.
First 48.
Listen.
Have they made a movie? Have they made a sitcom about? Man, let's go to the next one.
They're free in North Memphis. They're free. What the hell you gonna compare North Memphis to being locked down in a hole?
Who free?
In a white jumpsuit or orange jumpsuit. That ain't no damn comparison. They're free. That's what I'm saying. That's two different worlds. That's two different worlds.
Oh, you talking about the prison world?
Two different worlds.
I thought, okay, the prison. I ain't talking about the prison world. No. I ain't been in that world. No. I've been around the world. Hell no.
In that world.
And ain't yes. No.
Remember Dwayne Wayne?
No.
A different world.
And don't wanna. And Herb Baker. And don't wanna go. Let's repeat that. How they never been and don't want to go. What's up, Reggie Boylan?
If I was to go there tomorrow, I would live like a king. Because remember one thing about there, what you did on the streets, it beats you there.
Okay, Mimo. Hey,
that's always.
You got Netflix, huh? I want you to go watch this Netflix thing called Unauthorized Living. I guess you Mimo Banderas. If you know that character on the Facebook page, you Mimo Banderas. You go in there. Hey, you got dinner brought it in. You got women brought it. You got everything brought in prison. I got you. I got you.
I didn't have women brought in, but
Mimo Banderas.
I've had the dinner brought in several places I've been at.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, wine glasses and the whole thing.
It don't matter about a wine glass. It matters if it's wine, it's wine. If it's whatever, if it's food, it's steak, it's chicken, whatever it is, it's food. You good because you're gonna take a little bit back and bring it back and bless the people, bless your partners with it.
Hey, well, let's move on. Cause thank you for the incarcerated news today. Let's try to stay out of that situation, ladies and gentlemen. It's a lot nicer out here. I promise you. When I look around, it's a lot nicer out here. When you look around, I'm just saying.
Yeah, but
what's the next subject?
And I definitely invite any of you guys. If you need some of your kids or some of your student athletes out there to get a crash course or an explanation of that other side. I'm one of the very few in this business that can supply that to them.
Thank you.
Like, remember I told you guys a story about how most people that covers this stuff ain't never rode the bench. I'm one of the guys that can explain to you the psychology of how to be an effective, productive bench rider because I rode the hell out that bench once I got in basketball in high school and in college and baseball for the most part. But college and baseball was a choice because I had to make a decision. I'd rather drive a Porsche or go make money to buy a Porsche and a Jaguar in college than to go and to play baseball. I figure I can make my money doing that. That's the truth. Well, I'm gonna have one hell of a book when it comes out. That'd be my retirement, guys.
Me too. Hey, me too. It's in the works.
So now, of course, I want to let you guys know quickly before we go into the amateur sports sector. We creeping up on the back line, and that is in Major League Baseball. They are considering expanding the playoffs to 14 teams.
No.
7 teams from each league.
No.
7 teams from each league. They're considering doing so. And that means the team, if this is approved, that means the team with the best record will get the bye. Right? And the team they have 3, 2 will play against 5, and 3 will play against 6, and 4 will play against 7. Talking about the seeds, and they'll go like that. But the team with the best record in each division will get a bye as opposed to the 2 best records now. And that's the thing that they will be debating on whether. Now, also in this is something that sounds really, really funky, and that is 2 division winners, right? It's 3 divisions in baseball on each side. So the first division winner gets a bye, right? Put that down. Those 2 other division winners, then it's currently a wild card. That's 4 that makes it now, right? So what happens is those 2 other division winners will get to pick their opponents, which I don't think that's going to fly. I really don't think that's going to fly. They will get to pick their wild card opponents. And I don't even know who proposed and voted on that to even make it this far in the process. But I'm curious to see. I wouldn't mind them expanding it, but I just hope it doesn't get so watered down and get to a way it's get goofy and we are regretting that. But because Major League Baseball plays the most games, and if you play that many games, ain't nothing wrong. I don't see a problem with letting an additional 2 or 3 teams in from each side of the field. I really don't. We'll see how that goes on. Want to let you guys and get you guys abreast to that baseball tidbit.
Yeah,
now
I don't know if we're going to college, but I saw something interesting last night by Quanzo Martin and parents. I want to check this because I know we're going to pivot into amateur basketball shortly. But Quanzo Martin, parents, you may not get a bag of money, but this is a guy. Franz Fashilla said you would want your son to play for, especially if he had an NBA future. I want to share y'all something he said last night. I want you to take a good look at this. Cuonzo Martin, the coach at Missouri.
That's a beautiful thing, though. I mean, because at the end of the day, success is success. If I make it to the NBA, that means I'm successful. It's the same thing as every student on campus. I want to be a doctor. If there's a path to get there fast, I'm all about that. That's why every kid that goes to school here, they have a major and they have parents that are involved. They have a plan. Here's the plan. It's the same thing. So I love for the parents that want their kids to go to the NBA, but we have to be realistic and understanding this is what's required. Now you have to have the natural parts first. Then here's what's required to get to that point. And you have to do all those things. Just like if you're trying to be a med student, there's a process to be a med student. And I think the parents and the child got to be on board to be that and do that. And there's a lot of hours in being successful at that. Yeah. But my mom, it was just Coach Katie's the coach. That was it. I mean, she never, that was it.
Unique, man. Unique perspective. I thought about that last night. If you notice, parents and ladies and gentlemen, he said he got a plan. Got a plan. And I've never heard a coach talk about it that way. And Jimmy, I think you probably noted this man. I've met him, but I don't really know him. But I thought that was an interesting conversation. Even in high school, parents, we got to have plans. We got to have more than one plan. You know, we can't be, Jimmy. I'm watching. I mean, I'm just, I think we talked about it the other day. Parents, I thought about something the other day. I said, the parent situation in youth basketball and football, in youth sports, is getting so bad that we have to come up with a moniker for you, an acronym for you, PGW. And I thought about that. I know we laugh about it, but I thought about it. We shouldn't have to do that. Let's have a plan. Let's say plan A don't work. What about a plan B? Let's say plan B don't work. What about plan C? And when I heard this, man, he said when they come to college, y'all got an academic plan. Why not? Don't we have a plan for everything in your basketball? If let's say like this year, we getting ready to go to your summer teams. I've been hearing a lot of summer team talk, Jimmy. I've been hearing a lot of people complaining, mad because the kids are announcing, and then and you say you don't have nothing to do with it, but I heard another side of it. Then why are they announcing? Are they going to announce it? And I'm going around. Are they going to announce these things? Are you going to announce I'm leaving this program and go to another one? Or is the coach going to allow this kid? Are he going to announce so and so had just left my program? Is he going to announce that? So AAU guys, everybody, let's start planning. Let's start. I gave y'all a tidbit the other day, and in case you didn't hear it, I was talking about the time that Kobe spent on his life, how he managed his time, and how he packed all of that stuff into a 41 years of living. 5 NBA championships, 1 Emmy, and 1 Academy Award. That he said, yeah, Michael might get me on the NBA, but he might not get he won't get a Academy Award. He might not get an Emmy. So this guy, and I brought the analogy, Jimmy, about the navigation app that we need to Kobe, we got to decode Kobe's life like it's a navigation app on how to make better use of your time. And remember, download the app, open it up, and use it. And the question I'll ask everybody, what are you doing with your time? And that's what Cuonzo Martin said. Parents, so you won't waste your time, have a plan for your kid. Have a plan in case that one don't work. I want my baby to go to Duke. If Coach K don't call him, let's find another plan. I want my baby to go to U of H. If Coach Sampson don't call him, what's your recourse? What's your recourse? Because it's okay. Sam Cassell, Steve Francis, Nick Van Exel, all of those guys went to junior college. All of them were short guards that went Regular sized guards that went to junior college and made it to the NBA. But guess what? They had a plan. When plan A didn't work, hey, man, I know I ain't smart enough to go to college. I got to go to junior college. They found another plan. So, I love when coaches like Kwanzo give us those kind of nuggets like that, and I can bring them to you. Dude, let's start having a plan, people, and make better use of our time. What you got, Jimmy?
Well, I mean, that's, with Quanzo Martin, I mean, the thing is, you got to win. And
I'm not talking about the winning. I'm talking about the message. I notice I didn't say one thing about him winning. I don't care if he lose 1,000 games. That's not my point. It's not my point. But I love, don't bring up your point, but that's not my point.
Well,
okay.
My point
and I brought up, and I'm the one brought it up. That was my point.
My point is the message and the messenger. The message can be great, but the messenger isn't the guy that's winning gets people attention. Then that's why certain mega stars.
Not all the time, because it got my attention, but keep going.
Well, not winning, I say people. I didn't say I didn't say a person.
Okay.
I'm saying people. Winning gets people's attention. And that's what, I mean, you think about it, people was laughing at a guy like Scott Drew just 2 years ago. Number one in the country now. He gets people's attention. Winning gets people's attention. So with Quanzo, although the message may be good and stern and have footage, it needs to be amplified by let's say the head coach at Florida State, who's in a top 10 in the country or type situation. If he goes and takes that message and amplifies it, co-signs it, then it goes and it blasts off. If Kevin Sampson takes that message and co-signs it and amplifies it, it blasts off. Otherwise, people are gonna say, "Man, I ain't gonna touch that. I'm gonna leave that alone."
And guess what? Let them keep on. Let them keep on. Because guess what? You just thank you. You just helped my argument. I appreciate you bringing up Coach Drew. So Coach Drew, when he was losing, his message, whatever message he was getting out, we shouldn't listen to it. Now, since he's winning, we should listen. He gave the same message then that he's giving now. So his message is less credible when he wasn't winning. That's what you're saying? You're saying Coach Drew credit. I'm asking a question. Let me answer to your plan.
You're not paying attention to the messenger. The masses ain't paying attention.
Every time, Jimmy, you're not going to win the masses. If it just changed one parent's life, you're not going to win the masses. The masses, Jimmy, you're never going to win the masses. It's masses follow Jesus, Jimmy, but 12 followed him. Let me repeat that. The masses was around him, but only 12 followed closely. Jimmy, everybody's not going to get it. Everybody's not going to get it. But somebody going to get that. Somebody going to know you got to have a plan. That's all. I didn't care if he was winning. I didn't care. Just like when Coach Drew, when he was losing, I thought he was a nice man. And he's number one in the nation. And whatever he told me back there still resonates now. That shouldn't, to me, I forgot you grew up different from me. You've been in situations that I haven't been into. But I love the fact that people know now. High school mamas and daddies on this thing. That's a message. Have a plan. Now, you go talk about winning and winning and winning and winning. Yeah, okay. Everybody ain't winning. Like I said, ain't going to be but one national champion this year. Ain't going to be but one NBA. So everybody else going to go away, not a winner. So they are less successful because they didn't win the championship. They are less in fans' eyes. That's why I've never been a fan. So I'm just sorry. I mean, yeah. And I don't mind nobody disagreeing. I understand. Understand? That's just how I feel.
You say nobody disagreeing?
I said, I don't care if nobody disagree. I said, excuse me, I don't care if anybody disagree. I don't care. I'm just saying that's the way I feel about it.
Well, that's once again, that's the way you feel about it. And that's in most things gonna be the way that you feel about it. It's like the person
just like the way you feel about it. That's okay.
The way, and one of the things, like I mentioned, it still stands firm. If a team in high school basketball, if the last place team or the team that's near last place, let's say Robert E. Lee High School, which is now known as Wisdom High School, if the head coach at Wisdom High School decides to throw a basketball clinic or a workshop to tell parents, to let them know, try to help better the things in the community and help all of the kids what they should be doing. And let's say if Dickinson High School coach did a clinic of similar fashion, on this, that the likelihood that the amount of participation to the Wisdom High School camp or clinic workshop would be far less than the guy who's winning. That's my angle. When you're winning, people will hear you. When you're winning, people will pay attention.
So you listen to Coach Drew now a lot more than you did back then.
You damn skip it.
Okay.
I will listen to what he got to say.
Okay.
I remember Coach Drew calling my phone. He go to voicemail.
I got you.
If his ass call right now, I might put y'all on.
But guess what? You got different experiences than me, so I understand. I understand.
Yeah, and so
you can learn, Jimmy. You can learn from everyone on this planet. You can learn from a child. You can learn from every species of whoever God blessed to put on this planet. You can learn from them. But excuse me, I can learn from them because most people don't like to do that. It's okay. I'm okay with it. I promise you. I ain't mad at nobody. What's the next one? What's the next next thing? I'm putting my starting five up.
Time to go into the mailbag. And what we got in the mailbag is today, of course, speaking of amateur basketball, while we get ready to queue up some of the mailbag, I want to remind you guys, speaking of Baylor, they beat Texas last night, 52-21 for I think they're 21 wins in a row for the Bears, something like that, a school record, and they're rolling and maintaining their grip in first place. And while doing so, they're rumbling. 45 points they held the University of Texas to. Let's go and take a look and pull up the floor, man. Look at that box score, and let's see if we can identify some stuff in there. One thing that sticks out, of course, in this particular game last night was the turnovers were even, pretty much. The steals were even. The block shots were even. The assists were pretty much even. The rebounds were identical at 39 apiece. The free throws made was a difference. 12 of 16 for Baylor, 6 for 11 for Texas. The three-point percentage was very off for Texas, 3 for 17. 6 for 16 for Baylor. Baylor shot 34%. Texas shot 30%. I'm willing to say Texas probably completed most of their stuff on their scout containing Baylor, but they just couldn't able to get no productivity on the offensive end. 45 points isn't enough to win a game in the Big 12. It isn't. And that's the second time that UT has been in the 40s in conference play. I think they scored 44. If I'm not mistaken, they lost to West Virginia last month. Well, as for Baylor, it wasn't nobody had a super hot night. Teague had 11 points. That's what their leading score. Number one team in the country. Leading score 11 points. That shows you the cohesiveness and the spookiness of this team. Remember, I told you guys, I gave it about looking at the box scores. And that is Baylor. They had one player, Bandu, played 25 minutes off the bench. He had 10 points. No other player from Baylor's team played more than 10 minutes off the bench. Once again, no other player had more than 10 minutes off the bench. They only had 3 guys off the bench to touch the court. Let's look over at University of Texas. How did they bench fare? Royce Ham, 17 minutes, had a nice viral dunk that made SportsCenter last night. Donovan Stretch Williams, 22 minutes off the bench. A lot of burn for Stretch. 1 for 6 from the field, only 3 points. Brock Cunningham, he got in with less than 1 minute to go. So Texas had 2 players off the bench. Baylor 3. I keep telling you guys, pay attention to the rotations of these teams, especially the rotation, because guess what? If you've seen how many players the head coaches are inserting into the game, not just one box score. You want to always take 3 in succession. Take 3 box scores, print them off, and just lay them on a big, paint them, tape them against the wall. And then you compare, you can see what's going on. That will help you in understanding. It don't mean don't pick the school. It would just help you to understand why, if he don't play but 3 guys off the bench now, 2.5, then why the hell do you expect him to play your son or to play 9 if all 3 of those guys are coming back next year and the 3 and the 5 starters come back too? That means you got to beat somebody out, which is going to be inevitable anyway. You're going to have to beat somebody out or replace somebody in the rotation. This is something that's a lot of people aren't paying attention. That's what I basically asked you guys to do. Now let's look over at TCU. Did you see that score last night? Speaking of the 40s, they scored less than UT last night. TCU lost to Texas Tech 42-88. They were down 45-20 at the half, by 25 points. In this situation, guess what? Now, let me caution you. In any 40-point game spread in a final, that box score would mislead you because the walk-on was going to play 5 or 10 minutes in that type of game. That's not the normal rotation. Once again, you go and you mislead yourself and think, well, okay, TCU played 5 guys off the bench or 4 guys off the bench in this game. Well, they were losing by 40. So don't. This is not applicable in being able to understand and interpret score or stat box scores. But how did our Houston kids do? Kevin Samuel, 24 minutes, 4.7 rebounds for TCU. Jayla D, 14 minutes, 6 points, 4 rebounds, and fouled out in 14 minutes, took 1 shot. And on Texas Tech, guess what? They just rolled on, did a lot of big day at the office for a lot of the guys, including Jamiles Ramsey, 17 points in 24 minutes. Moretti, 17 points. Holyfield, 10. Edwards, 14. The kid from San Antonio, McCullough, he had 10 off the bench. So, once again, guys, pay attention if you're out there understanding box scores. Now, tonight, in the high schools ranks, there are a few games on tap around the area. And several of them have first place status on the line. I have a list of the 10 top games to see around Greater Houston. And what I'm going to do is I normally put the predictions of each game right on the front of the rcsports.com. So what I'm doing today, I'm gonna do it right in front of you guys. I did it before a couple of times. I done got pretty good at this stuff. I saved the best for last. But we go Hastings at Pearland tonight. Hastings at Pearland, that game right there. Let's see. I'm looking at my standings. Hastings in 4th place, 8-3. I'm sorry, they're in second place, 8-3. Pearland is in first, tied at 9-2. So they're one game behind Pearland. The Hastings Bears. Shout out to Coach Darryl Collins out there. He has the Hastings team. They're off to their best start in 10 years, 10 seasons. Hastings is. And I'm going to pick Hastings to win this game. I'm picking an upset. I'm picking Hastings by 1. And you guys can look on the rcsports.com. I'm updating this as I go. Next up, Westbrook at North Shore. North Shore is 10-1 in district. Westbrook is 7-4. That's Andre Boutte bringing his troops to town. And North Shore is one game behind Beaumont United, right? I'm going to pick North Shore to win this game by, it's going to be a low-scoring game. I'm going to pick North Shore by 7. Martin Ranch at Katy. Martin Ranch is 9-0 in district. Katie's in second place at 7-3. In this game, I'm going to take Martin Ranch, right? And I'm going to take Martin Ranch by, and they're at Katy. I'm going to pick Martin Ranch by 12. By 12. Now, Hannah, we got to find out if and when Big Eddie Lampkin is going to return for the Martin Ranch Mavericks.
Have no idea.
And then also we got to find out, does Martin Ranch plan to rest L.J. Cryer going into the playoffs? They only have 3 games left.
And they've clinched.
No. Tonight's win would clinch. Because technically, you can lose all.
So do high school people do that?
I would.
Do high school, I'm asking y'all, especially the know-it-alls like Herb Baker, do high school players rest out at the end of the year? Stacy, do high school, this is what y'all should know about, do high school players, do they rest when they done clinched the division? When they done clinched do they work? When they done clinched the district, do they rest? I've never heard of that. Maybe y'all have, since y'all know so much. Do they? Do they? Michael Jordan said no. No, sir. Thank you. Slim, thank you, Slim. I thank you. Stacy said he's seen it many times. I'm just rest. What's that? Thank you, Mika Nicole. Thank you. I just rest for what? I that never crossed my mind. But Jimmy, I know it's gonna cross your mind because you love, what's your favorite word, Jimmy? 2 words. Load management.
I'm gonna tell you the main reason is one reason why I've seen it happen. As well. As far as your team is that far up, and you're relying on one guy, and he's been playing pretty much 30 to 32 minutes every game, and to give that guy legs a rest, I've seen it happen.
He can rest when the season. He can rest when the season over.
No, because you're not gonna take him. If you're not gonna take him out in the playoffs at all, there's nothing wrong with that. Because know what happens? That means you're trying to find a way to get established a degree of confidence in some of your reserves. So I mean, if he goes out and sits out, another guy has to come and start. It builds his self-esteem. That means the last guy, the 9th guy becomes the 8th guy. 8 becomes 7, 7 becomes 6. And in a good win, that will help give you the continuity that you would need in the postseason. Now, meanwhile, I understand, and specifically in regards to L.J. Cryer, he's on the verge of becoming of attaining a scoring record. I don't know if he's on the verge of becoming a scoring champ. Nothing else. I don't know if it's for the state this season for the most points, or in his district, but I know he's on the verge of attaining something of that matter. Not the all-time leading scorer in Houston, no, but either the season scoring champ or for 6A, that is, or the career scoring champ for his district or whatnot. So for that alone, and I'm down with it, if a record is in reach, go get it. I was telling Jack Yates to go get it when they would be in action tonight with a chance to set the record for the most 100-point games in a row. So that would be straight hypocritical to say, go Jack Yates, go, when in their quest, and tell L.J. Cryer, don't go get yours. If you're going to get that record, put your name in the record books. Imprint yourself there. Get something, get a plaque placed in your trophy case. Go. So if that's but otherwise, I'm not against the rest. Either way, it doesn't move the needle with me either way. I understand either way. But for those reasons I just applied, it makes it sufficient for my understanding to provide it to you guys. Other games I got tonight, guys, Aldine Davis at Aldine Westfield. This was a game that last month I attended when the young man from Aldine Davis made contact with a swooping movement of the arm with the referee and got kicked out of the game at the end, pretty much within the closing seconds. This Aldine Davis team, last week, I didn't get all the facts, but I've confirmed that a parent at the end of one of their games came out the stands and punched the coach. You want to talk about PGWs? A parent came and punched the coach, took a swing on the coach. You guys follow me? This actually happened in Houston, Texas.
Ain't nobody surprised.
In the middle of a high school, well, not the middle, at the conclusion of a high school game. This is where we are.
Man, I'm not surprised.
This is where we are. Now, another game tonight, Langham Creek is at Cy Lakes. Langham Creek is 10-3 in district. Cy Lakes is 11-3 in district. That's old Coach O out there. Coach O has a young kid named Emil Turner. He's a 2-sport star. Langham Creek has been grooving this season. You know what? I'm going to pick Cy Lakes. Let me tell you why. I'm going to pick Cy Lakes by 2 in this one. I just updated on RCS Sport. Langham Creek head coach, and I posted in the VIP news some tasty tidbits about a new high school opening up in Katy called Jordan High School. It's opening up next year. They won't have varsity until the year after. Well, Langham Creek head coach is one of the head coaches who reportedly interviewed for the job, along with Pasadena head coach, George Ranch head coach, Katy Tompkins head coach, and Needville head coach. And I wrote a nice piece this morning explaining my displeasure on the school district of Katy ISD conducting interviews for a vacant job with 2 weeks to go in the high school basketball season. And most of those coaches that made the cut to the final interviews or rounds of interviews were from outside districts. So and all of those guys, except for Pasadena High School, are in the middle of the playoff run. They're in the playoffs as it stands. So if you're a parent and you find out your coach is trying to go, and if he's going to the interview, that means he's trying to go. Otherwise, you say, no, thank you. I'm good. I'm cool where I'm at. He's trying to go. Your son out there and your kids out there giving it all. And so my thing is the school district scheduled interviews at that point in time, 2 weeks to go in the season. Why, Katie? Why? I know you feel like, I understand, Katie ISD, sometimes you feel like, but why the hell would you do that? Why? You couldn't wait 2 weeks. You really couldn't wait 2 weeks to conduct these interviews. But go and check out VIP News. And I wrote about that. And meanwhile, we got 3 games left. College Park at Klein is tonight. College Park is in second place. Klein is in first place. College Park 11-2. Klein is 12-1. I'm going to take Klein in this game. Klein by 4. Right? That's update on the site. We got 2 games left. I got A&M Consolidated is in first place. Right? I'm sorry, in second place. They're 10-1. They're playing Paytown, which is in Katy ISD. A new, pretty new school, undefeated 11-0. Right? I'm gonna take Paytown won in the close, had to come from behind last week. I talked about him on the TV show last week on the Q High School Sports Zone. They have a big fella. I'm gonna take Paytown in this game by 3. It's gonna be a lot of close games tonight, guys. Now, down to the last one before the thriller. That's Ridge Point and Elkins. That game will be on the campus of Hightower High School. At the stadium in the back parking lot is called Hobson. That's at Hightower High School. If you're wondering where Hobson is. Ridge Point, once again, is at 9-2. Elkins at 6-5. Ridge Point is trying to stay a game out of first place, a game within Travis, who's in first. I'm going to take Ridge Point in this game. I'm going to take Ridge Point by 7. Now, the game y'all been waiting on.
Why they been waiting on this game?
Huh?
Why they been waiting on this game? How you know they been waiting on this game?
Because they've been talking about it all day on the timeline, so we came on the show. Been talking about it. That's Shadow Creek at Hightower tonight. Shadow Creek at Hightower. Shadow Creek is 14-0 in district. Now they play 16 district games in this particular district, 24-5. Hightower is 12-1. Right? Shadow Creek won the first game. Now it's Hightower's time to return serve. Who do I think is going to win this game tonight? First, I'm going to ask Hatter.
Don't ask me that.
Who you think going to win this game?
I don't know. I don't predict games. I don't predict games. I support Hightower. I don't predict games. I want Hightower to win. So I don't predict. I don't know no score. I don't know what. I am on. I want Hightower to win this game.
Okay.
Very consistent.
Well, I'm going to look at it like this. If Shadow Creek beat Hightower the last time they played at Hightower a year ago, that's a different season. Shadow Creek has beaten Hightower this season once. Shadow Creek is currently the number 3 ranked rated team in the area. Shadow Creek has the momentum. Hightower should be really hungry tonight. It should be a really, really interesting, intriguing, and a spirited game. But at the end of the day, I'm thinking that I'm going to go with the higher rated team, the team who has beat this team in this hostile environment before. With most of those same players were in uniform. I'm going to roll with Shadow Creek on this win. And I'm picking Shadow Creek I'm going to say it's going to be a really close game. I'm going to go Shadow Creek by 2. And there you have it. Those are the predictions of the top games around Greater Houston today. Those are posted on RCS Sports. And
And Woods gave some information about the game being streamed. If you're not fortunate to make it out there, the game is being streamed on ViteForItBeing.com. I never heard of that, but I guess at 6:45, it started at 6:45. I posted it on the screen. This game is going to be, I guess, on broadcasted on Vite, ForItBeing.com. I guess. Interesting.
okay.
Interesting.
Stacey Houston say, I'm taking Bryce Grigg tonight. He dropping 30 tonight. And
He gonna need 50 though.
you say 50?
He gonna need 50.
I was just going to
Them
say.
guys playing too.
Well,
Those
Stacey,
guys, them guys are playing well over there at I like I told you, I'm Bryce Griggs all the way. But I've been watching it. Those guys got 3 or 4, maybe 5 guys playing. These guys are playing hard. And in high school basketball, that's a unique skill. Playing harder than the other player, breaking the other player's will. They got a guy on their team, and bless his little heart, I know his name, but I forgot it. This dude went out and grabbed 15 rebounds one game and then came and did it again the next one. And the other people saw that he did it. So I'm just, it's just so unique. The grit and grind guys, the grit and grind. I mean, so if another person don't match their grit and grind, the other team, it's gonna be a long weekend. Be a long weekend, a long weekend with your mother-in-law. The mother-in-law that you don't like. So, I'm pulling for Hightower, but hey, I ain't crazy. I ain't crazy. Shadow Creek is one of the top teams in the state and in the city. So, I might be, born. Hey, I might be born at night, but not last night. So, that's all I got to say about it. Trey Leitner, thank you, Trey Leitner. Trey, I'm sorry, sir. I forgot that name, Trey. That he's a monster. I mean, he just said, I know what I do, and this is what I do. Every team is not blessed to have a kid like that on their team. So, great job over there, whatever you're doing over there, Coach. Great job. So,
and once again,
so that whole parking lot gonna be crazy.
Well,
but we got enough to get a football team in, so we'll be all right. That's a football stadium right now, so you have room, but just have a long walk if you don't get there.
Just like it was a year ago when they played at Hightower, and it was a
Jim. It was different, Jim. Different climate now. Different.
I'm talking about the inside. You only can get so many people inside. That means so many cars outside. Okay. So it won't be many more cars than what it was.
Okay, I got you.
So that means it's a max that you only can get in the gym. Hightower's gym only holds approximately 1,100 fans, as opposed to Shadow Creek's was somewhere around 1,900.
You're going to be in there like this tonight.
So if Shadow Creek held 1,900 and they stopped letting people into Shadow Creek, then they know tonight's game is going to be an overflow crowd. People ask the question, I've seen a couple of texts, why couldn't they move the game? Well, understand this. There's a game at Hobson we mentioned is right across the street, across the parking lot. Mm-hmm. There's games there, not one, but multiple games there tonight. There are multiple games at Wheeler Fieldhouse tonight. The only thing that I could have considered, that I could have thought of, that they could have done, and I didn't think about it until like last night, they could have moved the game if the coaches would have had to agree. They could have moved the game to Hobson on Wednesday and played a Wednesday game. But then if you're the coach at Hightower, if some of your fans couldn't get into Shadow Creek, why would you want to go and give up that home court advantage? Because the Hobson, it feels like a dungeon.
But they play well in the Hobson, though, Jimmy. That team
Yeah,
plays well.
you're losing some of the home court advantage. Those you don't practice at Hobson every day.
Okay.
You practice in your gym. Well, so that means now you know the sweet spots on the floor. You know the dead spots. You know what to not dribble the ball. You know whatever. You know you in your own locker room before the game. And this is the biggest game of the season for Hightower as a team. This game is the biggest game of the season. That's why I said before, when they played the first time, I didn't even go to the first game. I said, now mind you, I was out of town.
You was out of
I
town.
was out of town, but I say, well, the first game is going to be great, but the second one is the one that's going to matter because the marbles will be at stake, and which it is, because that means whoever wins this last one will have momentum going into the
You know what,
post.
Jimmy? I'm so excited. You know, just to think about that, we even think about y'all. Where else in the world that you gonna find some people just sitting here and talking all over the country and all over the city and talking about your kids in a high school game? And Jimmy, I mean, it's a magnificent. I never take this platform for granted. You know, Jimmy, and I wanted to bring up too. I saw something last night, the other night, and I wanted to bring up on the Chop Shop. This is a perfect time to bring it up. The importance of black media and the importance of it. The other night at the American music at the Oscars, the young lady who played in Harriet Tubman, Olivia, y'all know her name, Rivera. It's got a funny last name. Her publicist, who was I think probably Asian and white mixed or whatever, her publicist was pulling her in one direction on the red carpet. Now check this out now. Pulling her in one direction. So a young black lady with the black media, because they put the black media in the back, hollered her name out. Sylvia, Sylvia, Sylvia. She took the hand of that woman and drug her over and said, I gotta do this. I gotta do this. Her name's Cynthia Eureka. I've gotta do this. Urivo, I'm sorry, Urivo. I gotta do this, and drug this lady over there to the black media. Reluctantly, her publicist wanted her to go down over there. And then it reminded me of Halle Berry a year ago in the same Oscars. She told that lady flat out, I got to go over here and see my people. I got to talk to my people. Drug her. Jimmy talked about this. I didn't understand it until now. But now we always complaining about Oscar so white. Think about this, y'all. I remember we had the North Shore basketball team. They won the state championship. That coach, I think that was North Shore, Jimmy, came back and came in the Chop Shop with the trophy and with the nets around the trophy. Am I right, Jimmy?
That was
the basketball team.
No, that was Kenneth Coleman from Port Arthur Memorial.
Oh, Port Arthur Memorial. But he didn't.
The bow tie.
Okay, that was Port Arthur Memorial that won?
Yeah.
Okay. What? Who else?
North Shore came too. We had North Shore as well.
No. But we didn't have the stars in North Shore. We didn't have the stars went to the other to the TV station.
Yeah. That was the football you're talking about. That's the football.
Yes, I'm talking about football. I'm talking about basketball. It was Port Arthur. Thank you, Frank. But the guys that cover and talk about your kids, they should be the first, because guess what? You know how they complain about Oscar so white, Grammy so white. But look what they do when they get to think about this. When BET or the Source Awards or one of these awards show, when they have their show, some of our top black stars don't even show up. But maybe some of them half white, like Jimmy, or half breed. They might just don't want, they're half breeds. They don't want to show up. But I heard that if 1 ounce of you black, you're black. But we got to somehow, just start understand. Wait till I tell y'all about this NFL stuff in a couple of days. We got to and we control it. Halle Berry, one of the biggest stars in Hollywood, said, oh, hell no. We going over and see my folks. Cynthia, the Harriet Tubman young lady, she said, no, I got to go. She looked at that woman and said, I got to do this. And guess what, Jimmy? She's from London. She got a British accent. She's from the UK. That's what we got to understand, man. How we seed and how we give up our power. Every single day we give up our power. And not understanding, I guess you don't want the black reporter to be that powerful. It's okay. I know some people think like that. It's okay. It's okay if he get it, just as long as Jimmy don't get it. As long as Robert don't get it. Hey, y'all, all I'm doing is, because let me tell you something. I didn't even understand this about the media. I'm learning now. I refuse to even think I'm a part of the media. I'm just on a show. But guess what? This stuff is so important. It shouldn't be nothing come in this city that an African American do that shouldn't come through the chop shop. We don't want to talk about your kids. I know you don't like Jimmy. I know you don't like me. I don't care. Respect the platform. Respect the guys that spend 8 hours a week and no matter how many hours researching stuff to make sure you have a great product. And I'm not bashing nobody. I'm just educating right here, y'all. I promise you. And it's not self-serving. Because guess what? It's going to be some young men that take Jimmy out in my place. I'm looking for them right now. Can't do this. I ain't going to do this forever. I'm trying to groom a young black. So guess what? So we can have a voice. So we can have a voice, man. That's all I'm trying to say. We got to understand. Think about what's happening tonight. Mindy Collins got a son that plays on that team. It's several people got sons that's on this Facebook feed right now that got sons that's playing tonight. Sadea, Miss Williams, her son is playing tonight. Jim and I, we're talking about their teams. We got to get smarter, y'all. And guess what? I'm going to agitate you until it happens. You can't be mad at me. I don't care. I just want 10 years from now, somebody said, Robert Hatter planted this seed. Let's make a difference. I could talk about it now. About a year and a half ago, I was approached by several young men to talk about getting together a consortium just to find out the state, like the president do the State of the Union. Roger Goodell do the State of the NBA. Adam Silver does the State of the NBA, and Roger Goodell does the NFL. These guys were talking about the state of grassroots basketball. We had meetings. They brought me in, and guess what? I met some people that I really didn't even know in this meeting. And think about it. In this meeting, these guys, they just brought me in. And one of the reasons, I found out the reason why. I worked with a black company, African-American owned company, for 30 years. And let me tell you, we've had our disagreements, fights, knockdowns, everything. But guess what? We still prevailed. We still put us out the way and said, the company, the platform is bigger than the company. right? So they said, Robert, we want that expertise in this meeting. Do y'all know these guys just disband the meeting? I'm not telling you nobody's name. They just stopped doing it because some guy said, well, why this guy doing it? This guy doing it because this guy, he got a motive. This guy, it went back like that, back and forth. But in all of that, one of the guys that I met in the meeting, through this meeting, me and this guy have done business together. This guy has did stuff that nobody in Houston ever did for me. And this guy from another city. And I sit back and said, I hate the meeting in the consortium to make high school basketball better for all of y'all and a better experience for all of y'all, because guess what? We are the ones that's running it. I mean, we are all of our players are playing. Why we're not in control of it? This is what the meeting was about. But guess what? People kept, he ain't this, he ain't, But guess what, y'all? They did the same thing. They did this same thing, John Newsom, in the civil rights movement. You had Martin Luther King, you had Stick, you had Malcolm X over here. They were divided. But always, I learned, y'all, all of us not gonna make it. Everybody, your color is not your kind. We just got to get enough people that our kind and understand to get together and make this thing happen. And I thank those gentlemen. They know who they are. I thank those gentlemen, but it's people are trying to make this thing better for you. Even this platform. I tell people all the time, you can get mad at me and Jimmy. Hey, Loopy, you can get mad at me and Jimmy. You don't have to like me. But this platform is undeniable needed in our community. Because would nobody be talking about y'all. He even exposed y'all on another platform on Saturday and Sunday on the Cube. Jimmy does. So all I'm saying is, man, respect the platform. That's all. Expect the platform. Herb Jimmy was in the meeting. We'll help you out. Me and Jimmy was in the meeting. Just to help you. He was in the meeting. So, but that's just to help people. Dude, I thought the plan was unbelievable. Because that's just how I think. I know the power. When you get enough of us together, I know the power is where we can move and things we can move. Think about this, y'all. And Jimmy, I'm going to let you in with this one. We got Leon Rose is about to be the president of the GM of the New York Knicks. Nothing against Leon Rose. But Leon Rose made his name and got his credibility through the representation of black athletes. Bob Myers Leon Rose was a former agent. Bob Myers, a former agent, is running the Golden State Warriors, who had a record run the last 5 years. Bob Myers, he made a living representing African-American athletes. He built up his cachet representing black American athletes. Rob Pelinka, the Lakers, former agent. He made his empire and built his empire and built his cachet. If he don't represent Kobe, James Harden, or those guys, he won't be. Jenny Bush wouldn't look at it. But he made his, built his cachet on the backs of black athletes. I told y'all a long time ago. Our black athletes are our natural resources. So I got a question for you, Jimmy. Question for everybody. When Leon Rose passed away, Bob Myers passed away, Kobe's best friend, Rob Pelinka, is handed down to his family, and his family will have generational wealth. But it was made through choices that we made. He didn't force none of them guys to represent him. Nothing against them guys. He didn't force not one of them. That's the point I'm trying to make. Let's be more conscious of it, ladies and gentlemen. I know this might be way over y'all head. And if it is, just hold on, stay around the chop shop a little bit. We're gonna teach you how to do it. But Jimmy, we got 10 minutes left. What you got?
I mean, that's you pretty much, we at the end of the road, we pretty much it in a nutshell. Just on tomorrow, you can take the opportunity to detail some of the stuff in regard to what is meant by, or how it should be done, as far as the process when you have taken advantage or utilizing black media who's at your disposal. Now, that's a hell of an art, because it's not easy to do. In other words, it's because there's somebody out there tonight that's going to score 20 points. And unbeknownst to me, that kid might only average 8 points. But to you, the parent, you're going to say, my baby just scored a career high, scored 20. You need to give him some love. And no matter what happens, I mentioned 40 minutes ago about 6 games that's involving first place versus second place. Those are going to headline the stories tomorrow. Something going to happen in those games. That's the cost of winning. That comes with winning. People going to pay attention. That means we're not ignoring those who's not. But my thing is not playing to people. If you're going to let me know when little Johnny hit 25, all I ask you to do, keep that same energy. Keep me posted every single game. And many of you guys and you gals, you know it. If you text me, or if you email me, you know I respond. If you have questions for the mailbag, you know I respond. To every single one I've responded to. There ain't a person out there that sent me a text message. There's many out there asking for advice on navigating through this college stuff. And I give out homework assignments. I really do have. It's funny as hell. Because my thing is this. I'm not to give you 30, 40, 50 minutes of my time in intervals to just putting stuff in your ear, knowing that you ain't clean your ear out. So I'm going to give you an assignment to go. I'm like Mr. Miyagi.
Could you give me an example of an assignment?
Example of an assignment?
Yeah, you have to call the name.
So just say if you're a parent and you're calling me right now and you're 12th grade, your son is in the 12th grade, you're checking out schools, I'm going to tell you basically go and find 3 cities where you have immediate family members. Go and identify all of the non-Division I. Because first of all, if you're unsigned senior and you're at this point, and 95% of the time, you probably aren't a Division I prospect, or you don't have the academic qualifications today. That don't mean you can't be Division I tomorrow. So let's cut through that right now. So go find me the list of the non-Division I schools in 3 cities where you have immediate family members that you trust your son to go and eat their cooking on a Sunday, as opposed to going in the cafeteria eating bologna sandwiches. That's one. When you get to schools, you're going to print off their roster. You're going to print off their stats. You're going to print off 3 of the most recent box scores. Print all that up, put it somewhere. Then once you do, you let me know the name of the school and send me the names of the coaches on the staff. Go to the coaches page, send me those coaches' names. Chances are I'm going to know one of those coaches on that staff. Chances are. May not. Chances are. So that means now you send that, if you have the nerve, do that to each one of those schools. Then once you do that, then I explain to that parent how to interpret, as I told you guys about interpreting the substitution patterns and understanding on that roster, if the school fits you. If you want to go and play then you might not be able to play at this program because they're starting a freshman and a sophomore in the backcourt. You a guard, and they're in first place. That means that freshman and sophomore ain't going nowhere. And they got a guy that come off the bench as a sophomore. So little bit of things like that, those are homework assignments that I give some people. Then we go to the next phase, identifying and connecting those coaches. And I'll contact them, and I will personally ask that coach, here's a kid, here's his numbers, here go the parent, pie. It's just as simple. Or I would go, if the coach want to know something, now they nervous, they thinking let me find out, coach, this young man, here's his deal. Do you need a guard? Do you need a player that this? They'll say yeah or nay. And I help put that parent out their misery and let them know the coach ain't interested in y'all. See what it does, it expedites the process. But as you said earlier, on the platforms, and I think that in this city, we provide a hell of a platform that helps not only get grown folk through the middle of their work days, but it also helps to enlighten people and understand what's going on and how to at least have a fighting chance. That's what most grown folk want. Don't nobody want to be humiliated in this recruiting process. Don't nobody want to understand you go into a situation. Now, what we don't do, we don't tell you to go play for team A or team B. That's on you. Just like I don't tell a college coach, go take him. Ain't not a coach out there. I might be the only guy in the state that can actually go and put his hand in the middle of the Bible and say that on communion day and say there ain't a coach out there that can look me in the eyes and say I told him to take any kid that's currently playing high school basketball or playing college basketball right now. I told him.
Have you told him who not to take?
If I told him who not to take, nah, I don't do that. You know what I do? I say, well, coach, if you like him, here's 3 names. You might like one of these when you're coming in town. Check on these. I don't never tell them don't take. You know why? Because sometimes when you think that a kid in a situation don't make sense, often somebody could be doing somebody a favor. And that ain't your business. That ain't my business. You see where I'm coming from? I just like to have understanding. When it don't smell right, usually you never know. A parent could be going and donating $500,000 to the school program. You don't know. It ain't your business. And so I've learned that along the way. Just stay out of, and that's the concept of this. There's too many folk that want to be in other people's business. If you're a parent out there, I want you to think the last time I called one of your phones. No, I stay the hell out your business. Think about it. When you're recruiting, going to these schools and these colleges, I ain't in your business. Understand? Because I know that there's a process. Though you can handle it. And if you need help, I can help and give you something to fight with. I'm not in your business. And have I been in people's business? Yeah. But then that's inviting me. I'm not inviting myself. So you guys understand that. You take advantage of that and utilize us. And the thing is, you can't go and let people make you believe that the chop shop is equivalent to the ugly, fat cheerleader.
I can't believe you just said that, Jim.
That's what some people want people to believe. The ugly fat cheerleader. You know, the ugly fat cheerleader, that one girl who get all the work done. You're gonna call her at nighttime. You don't want nobody to see with them in daytime. But then you're gonna need help from them when it's dark. That's how it is.
Oh yeah. Yeah, like in public. I don't mess with that nigga.
That's how they do it, and y'all fall for it and don't even know why. That's the thing. Don't even know why. They don't even know why. Man, he be acting all this. What you want me to do? You want me to cheese in your face and know if you mess up, I'm gonna write about your ass on the website tomorrow. So I don't get in your mix.
Oh.
Listen, guys. Understand, I had a coach that texted me yesterday. And this coach, it's really it was respectful.
Okay.
I'll give you the last sentence in this text.
Okay.
Right? The last two sentences. He says, "What's in it for you? To be the first one to post a scoop? If you're in the media, I can see why you post something like that. But if you're trying to help kids, this isn't a good way to do it." Guess what? I'm in the freaking media. I'm on television. Been on radio, and it's optional as you see the Chop Shop right now. You guys, rest assured, we guarantee you, we can go back in the radio station tomorrow.
Jimmy, yesterday.
I promise you that. This is not by force. This is by choice. I promise you. We could go back and that's right. We can go and make the call. Hey, we'll be in the studio tomorrow. Now, if any of y'all want to put some money on that,
yeah,
then I'll prove it to you.
Put some money on it.
Because it'll cost you my time. You put 100. Matter of fact, you make a lot. You put a hot 100 on it. Any one of y'all want to put a hot 100? We'll give you a commercial out the deal.
Jimmy, let's give them. You put up 500, I put up 500. No, we're gonna make it cost their ass if they run in their mouth. And that's $1,000, Jimmy.
I don't want them to be mad if we lose $1,000. I don't want to be
okay. 100 each. Okay. All right.
I don't want to be mad.
Okay.
I just want to know.
Okay.
So understand, guys, as he just said, I'm not going to be here forever. There's a lot of young guys out there that's doing this stuff, and they're going to be great. Basketball is going to bounce without me one day. But my thing is no way in hell that you think I'm going to sit and let any young person dictate my demise. That ain't going to happen. That's the thing.
Jimmy, so what? I know now we got to go in overtime because you just a second. Somebody sent you that? In other words, saying, Negro, what's your angle? What's in it for you?
If you media, then I respect it. I understand it. So by you having to ask me if I'm media, that means up until then you
didn't respect me as media.
That means you ain't respect that media. That's one of the things. Our ice ain't cold enough.
So Jimmy, I saw something on. I'm reading your website right now.
VIP today. You ready?
I saw something. Let me read it because it ain't gonna sound right. You like to. Let me toot it. Let me toot this right here. It's going to be short. I'm going to be turning this way because my other computer over this way. He said, Jimmy, it's really a bit disrespectful. See, Jimmy, I didn't know this until now when you was talking. I didn't know this when I had my little soliloquy a while ago. He said, it's really a bit disrespectful for some people to pose the question, how does Hicks know? When it comes to willings and dealings, which are directly or indirectly connected to high school basketball, especially in the greater Houston area. Local college and pro teams our fans don't ask, how does Fox News guru Mark Berman know? NBA teams and NBA fans, they don't ask NBA Adam Wojnarowski, how does he know? Well, after 19 consecutive years of fertilizing relationships on the local and national hoop scene, don't any of you dare question my ability to obtain news. If so many folks wouldn't attempt to be so damn sneaky, they wouldn't be worried about it so much. Unbelievable. Hey, where my mic? I ain't gonna break my mic. I dropped the mic on that one, Jimmy. That was good, right? That was good. I didn't know they had crank you up like that, man. So I need to start reading this before I come on the show. So then if I won't crank you up, if I know these folks, I crunk you up today. You got to talk about prison and every damn thing. Every time you wouldn't do that if I wouldn't crank you up. So I'm gonna make it a conscious effort. I see what you're going through, man, of not cranking you up, because this dude, he'll crunk you up.
It's just understand. A lot of people will make you feel at times that your ice ain't cold in the daylight,
Yes.
right? But then when it comes midnight hour, hey Hicks, help me do this. Or can you do this? Or can you get me in this? Can you help me do this? Can you help my kid get here? You see? So that means you're not acknowledging the full-fledged. And I understand, as an African American, I understand that we have to do twice as much sometimes. But still, that's for people that don't really know you.
Us. Right.
But when somebody have seen you and they know you and they still refusing to acknowledge what you are, then that's a problem. That's a problem.
They're gonna learn today.
So that's the thing. So
Let's
we
wrap
need
this
you
thing
guys
up.
on that. We need you guys to share the show.
Yes.
If you hadn't done so yet, make sure you share today's show to your timelines and to your friends. A lot of people can get a bunch of laughs out of the day. This might take somebody, might be working a graveyard, a double. This might can take their ass right on through the rest of the day. They'll be laughing. Who in the hell is them two dudes going crazy like that on the show? This is what, and then at the end of the time, they get to this point, it's like, oh man, I need me a pencil. Write some of this stuff down.
Somebody told me they have it when they're working out. Like later on, they'll go, like when they're working out, then they don't realize, listen, they told me they don't realize how they done did some stuff for an hour and a half and don't realize it because of what we've been saying. Somebody told me this the other day, and I said, come on, hour and a half? They said, yeah. 2 hours? They said, yeah. I said, wow, unbelievable. Working out, you can take that app, you can go to YouTube, you can go to Facebook, turn on the app and work out. I never thought about it like that, but guess what? It's possible. So Jimmy, let's get us out of here because I got some things to do so I can see my nephews tonight. Today I said nephews tonight.
Ain't no fact, guys. Yeah, but I'll do this thing. Great show today, guys. See you tomorrow on Whipping Rock Wins in 22 hours. Make sure you share the show, like our Facebook page. Also, go and subscribe to our YouTube page, Chop Shop HTX. If you have a question to submit to our mailbag, email it to chopshophtx@gmail.com. chopshophtx@gmail.com. Also, the website which Hannah was referring to, and he read that, it was from the VIP news on rcssports.com. That's rcssports.com. That website will take you all the way through and navigate you through the Greater Houston High School basketball scene. Also, there's a list along the top of district standings, team rankings, player rankings, and as well as grassroots team tryouts for various programs in all of Greater Houston. If you are a grassroots coach and your program tryouts is not listed, simply look at the bottom, send us an email. We will post it. This is a great resource for the community, and that's rcssports.com. See you guys on tomorrow, and guess what? Good luck tonight. It's going down, baby, in the gym.
I hope you ain't coming. Hey, I'm going to tell Sandra to take you on date night tonight. You Sandra and Kobe. I don't want you in the building. You're jinky, man. I don't want you in the building tonight.
Date night tomorrow, guys. It ain't Wednesday. Ain't Tuesday. It's Wednesday. It's going down tonight. I'll see you guys on tomorrow. Peace.
All right, we out of here. Let me hit that button on them. Let me find that button.
Jim Hicks, Rob Hatter. You are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. Yes.